one you want.
See, she knew how to cuss.
Where's your, let's go ahead and get everybody signed in.
There is no justice in the world. Miss Penny.
Hang on one second, we gotta get everybody signed in.
Yeah, if you haven't signed in, I think
Just a second, it's going around.
Do you need? I was gonna ask you if you needed a pen for some reason.
You're on beating for one.
This is their pen, y'all. Oh, look at my email.
There's also a sign-up sheet
I have
right here.
35 voters.
Hello, I'm in a meeting. I have to call you back
Mark.
later, okay?
Do I need that stack right there? I just walked past it.
I'll probably have
That
50
stack
more
on
by
there.
then.
Yeah, do I need one of those? I just walked right past it.
I got
Your
one.
packets also, your agenda packets.
Oh, she said I have it already.
You probably got a lot of new members too. They're from Texas and Borneo, and they don't exist. I get my voter's registration and I'll go to that address and I'll follow. We come up on Facebook. They're there.
Lady that walked in.
I know.
32, 35 in 90 days. I gotta make sure that they're all right, but I'm
Now, we're going to,
So what is it?
because this is a public hearing, we're going to forgo the pledge and the prayer and go straight into the public hearing. And then when we go in there, we're going to dismiss that and then go into our council meeting, and then we will have prayer and all that. Now, who we're doing,
They're all
let's see.
Democrat, they don't live here.
Councilwoman Kate, you want to do the prayer tonight? And we're doing that.
Texas loves us.
All right, how about Penny, would you like to do the prayer tonight? What about Sandra? All right, so,
I have it in the agenda packets also.
yeah, we have an agenda pass.
I'm not in the mood, but I've used the F several times.
Look the other way.
What? You got, okay, yeah. All right,
It ain't working on this end.
I have to ask how
hang on
to.
one second. Yeah,
Who's praying?
sign it.
I need a soul here that can pray.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, this is going to be a public hearing. At this time, I ask you to silence your cell phones. No votes shall be taken at this time. This is for a public hearing and public hearing purposes only. Each attendee will have approximately 3 minutes to speak on the subject of the water for the Delta Regional Authority. The subject is going to be tonight. We have some presenters here, and we're going to ask them to come to the microphone and explain. If you have questions, you can ask them about this upcoming subject. Now, this is going to be a public hearing. Once the public hearing is finished, we're going to dismiss this public hearing and then go into our regular council meeting. At that time, we're going to vote on the resolution to support the application of the applying for this to the Delta Regional Authority. So that will be done at 5:30, somewhere thereabout. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our guest. Please introduce your name and state your name and address for the record into the microphone right here. These are kind of, you got to get kind of close by. Please state your name and address for the record and what this will, and you will start from there and introduce what this is about. And,
Are we opening up this meeting?
we're not having, this is a public hearing.
Okay.
This is not a council meeting.
No. Still, are we opening it up?
Yes, for public discussion on just this title only.
She wants to know if you're gonna
it
pray.
up.
Huh?
Opening it up, prayer.
Only he has the floor.
Are we opening the meeting up to have a prayer?
Oh, no, no.
Okay,
That will be done at 5:30.
okay.
This is a public, this is a general, just a discussion. This is all this is. We'll do all that at 5:30 at our regular council meeting. Okay. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our guest. Please state your name and address for the record, sir.
Okay, good evening. My name's Rob Javon. I'm with Digital Engineering. Our address is 527 West Esplanade Avenue, Kenner, Louisiana. And I'm here to speak on the wastewater treatment improvements plan. This is the public stakeholder and engagement meeting. This is to go over what the plan is for the wastewater treatment plant, and the different priorities that need to be accomplished to bring the plant back to its needed operational and functional state, and also meet compliance regulations. So, can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so this first slide just kind of lays out the priorities. The next slide, we're gonna have a graphic that shows you where the different parts of these priorities are in the wastewater treatment plan. Priority 1 and 2, there is actually a project going on right now, and that is the screw pump project, which is the pumps that pump the wastewater from the collection system into the treatment plant. That project is currently under construction. It is funded through an LDEQ state revolving fund loan, which has already been secured by the city of Bogalusa for $1.7 million. And it is scheduled to be complete in December of 2026. And the components of that particular priority 1 and 2 project that is ongoing will put in operation the 2 screw pumps at the influent of the treatment plant, and also 1 mechanical bar screen at the treatment plant. So that's the priority 1 and 2 project going on currently. What we're going to be focusing on with the proposed grant that I'll talk about a little bit later is the priority 3 project. That project includes a second mechanical bar screen at the influent of the wastewater treatment plant, as well as rehabilitation of the grit removal system. So the screw pumps pump the wastewater into the system. The bar screens are there to filter out the heavy solids, rags, and other things. Then the grit system is there to settle out heavy grit and things before it actually goes into the biological treatment process within the treatment plant. So it's basically, think of it as like the first line of defense for the wastewater treatment plant. And so it's very important to start upstream and work your way through so that all of this stuff becomes functional eventually through priority 6. Priority 4 is a project, which is a future project, that would be a sludge recirculation pump rehabilitation that sends sludge through the treatment process to the digester, as well as recirculates the sludge in the treatment plant to keep the biological bacteria living so it can actually treat the wastewater in the plant. Priority 5 project is the tertiary filter replacement, rehabilitation. There's 2 different filters there. The tertiary filters are the final polishing of the treatment process before the water is discharged into the Pearl River. And then priority 6 is refurbishing the sludge drying beds. That's where sludge is discharged and dewatered, and then once it's dewatered, that sludge can be removed and disposed of in a proper manner. So that is the overall wastewater treatment plant improvements plan that is currently in place, and it is ongoing as we speak with the priority 1 and 2 project, and we're looking to, with this grant that the city is going to pursue, is trying to start with a priority 3 if we're fortunate enough to get the funding. Go to the next slide. And so
It'd be too
Then just
tough on
below
it.
that is the sludge
It'd
recirculation
be too
pumps.
tough on it.
And then to the right is tertiary filters that need to be rehabbed, and then to the right of that is sludge trucking phase. So just to kind of give you a visual, and for those that don't know, the treatment plant is right behind here, behind, the council chambers. Okay, so the priority 3 project, which is the bar screens and the drip chamber rehabilitation, what we're doing is we're targeting a community infrastructure fund grant from the Delta Regional Authority. The Delta Regional Authority is an entity that was created by Congress several years ago. It's over 8 different states, which includes Louisiana, basically the Delta region of the Mississippi River. It supports infrastructure projects and focuses on improving quality of life and strengthening local economies. The purpose, investing in critical community infrastructure, helps community address infrastructure needs, obviously here at the treatment plant is an infrastructure need, and supports economic development. Having good, reliable wastewater treatment is going to allow businesses and residents to feel confident that they're not going to have overflows, wastewater backing up into their homes and businesses. Eligible projects, flood control and drainage, public infrastructure, which this wastewater project falls under, or transportation infrastructure as well, can be targeted through this funding. The funding awards are between $250,000 and $1 million. This is a competitive grant, so it's based off of points scored. So there's several different criteria within the application that have to be met, and certain points are allocated. And one of those criteria is this public engagement meeting. So this is going to allow additional points for the grant application, is holding this meeting and getting the public input on the project. And it's going to, help the area improve the infrastructure. Next slide, please. So grant funding eligibility, I covered a good bit of this already, but what it's going to do and how this project aligns with the funding eligibility is, the compliance issues at the wastewater treatment plant currently because of some of the non-functional components that we discussed. It's going to help bring the wastewater treatment plant back into regulatory compliance. It's also going to put these treatment processes back online to properly treat the wastewater that's discharged to the Pearl River. The Pearl River is currently an impaired water body on Environmental Protection Agency's impaired water bodies list. So it's very important to treat that water properly and discharge it so the city isn't contributing to the pollution of that water body. Once these projects are implemented, it's going to be able to bring the city back into compliance. If these projects are not done, the likelihood is that there will be continued permit violations, continued potential fines from regulatory agencies for the city. So just bringing everything back into compliance would certainly help with any of those future issues. And obviously, without this rehabilitation, there will be continued rising operational and maintenance costs. These improvements are going to give the treatment plant an additional 20-year life once they're all implemented. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and open it up to any questions that the public may have or any input that they may have about what we presented here today.
Okay. If anyone from the public has questions, please, this is about the Delta Regional Authority about the wastewater treatment plant, probably one of our more expensive assets to the city of Bogalusa, a very important asset. Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes after you state your name and address.
John McMahon, 202 Germany. Looking here on your priority layouts, for priority 3, I see the cost is $1 million with a $100,000 match. Is that $100,000 match, is that currently what we're expected to see from the DRA funding, or is that just, is that separate?
The $1 million is what the city is seeking in grant funds, and the city is proposing to put up $100,000 as a match to that grant. So the total funding for the project would be $1.1 million.
Okay. And this DRA funding is something that could be reapplied for each year, or is there a time period?
They put out periodically, as funding is allocated from Congress to Delta Regional Authority, they'll put out notices of funding opportunity. And so it's not necessarily on a yearly basis, it can be, just depends on the funding that the Delta Regional Authority receives. And then, what's available, they'll put these notice of funding availability out, which their current one is the one that the city is pursuing at this point in time.
Appreciate it.
Okay, anyone else from the public have anything else any questions? All right, council, any questions?
The only question I have is that in priority 4, 5, and 6, it indicates that the cost is to be arranged or dated. Are there any estimates of 4, 5, and 6 priority?
I believe there are estimates that were done by a different engineer, and we don't have those at this time, but I think the administration is working on getting those estimates, so those can be provided. And those particular, projects, different funding opportunities will have to be pursued to achieve those projects.
Thank you.
And another hearing would have to be done too, right?
Potentially, just depending on the requirements of whatever that
Right.
funding opportunity is. It doesn't necessarily have to be DRA, it could be several other different agency opportunities.
Yes, sir. Any other council discussion?
I have a question. I see where the grant is due, or the application is due August 24th. When would we find out if it's awarded? What's the deadline on that, or the date for that?
DRA hasn't put out a schedule on when they're gonna announce the awards, and they'll accept the applications. They'll do an initial review for eligibility, to make sure that the applications submitted are actually eligible. And then they'll go through the analysis and the scoring and rank the different projects based on the scores. And they'll have to look at the funding available. There's a total of $15 million available. And then they'll have to look how they want to disperse that $15 million throughout the different applications that were submitted.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other? All right. Any other things in your presentation you would like to present tonight? Okay, does that conclude the public hearing? All right. All right, this time I'm going to adjourn the public hearing and close the public hearing down. That concludes the public hearing for the Delta Regional Authority for the wastewater at this time for Tuesday, August 18th. The time is what?
5:23.
5:23. We are going to keep our agendas on time, we're going to take about a 7-minute break, and we are expecting to have our council meeting on time tonight. So the council meeting will resume and be in session at 5:30 tonight. So go ahead and take you a little bit of a break, and thank you for coming.